Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be doing my 2024 NFL fantasy football roster. 2023 was my first time doing fantasy football. I was kind of trying to figure it out. I got a little used to it as the season kind of went on. I didn't do the best, but I did pretty good. I didn't come last in my fantasy league though. And now it's the year 2024. I'm going to be doing my 2024 fantasy football roster. I've already gone ahead and drafted my fantasy football team. I'm going to be kind of going through, showing you guys a roster. Those of you who are actually experts at fantasy football, you can kind of look at it, dissect it, figure out if you think it's good or bad, whatever it may be. And I'm also going to kind of show you the draft recaps, just kind of show you like where I drafted each of these people and kind of give you, I guess, like my thoughts of why I drafted these players and also positions at certain spots in the draft. But I'm gonna go and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see here, we have my full fantasy football roster. I have every player. I haven't moved people around. I did actually move some people around for like week one of like adjustments, but I went ahead and moved everybody back so you guys can see my full roster. My quarterback is my Lamar Jackson. Running back, I have Jahmyr Gibbs and Devon Achane. Wide receiver, I have Tyreek Hill. You can probably tell where in my draft slot I was whenever I came to the first round at least. I took Mike Evans as the second receiver. David Njoku is my tight end. My flex is Terry McLaurin. Defense is the Cowboys, and kicker is Jake Elliott. And then on my bench, I have Jerome Ford, Kirk Cousins, Christian Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Courtland Sutton, Deshaun Watson, and Xavier Legette. Now, when I look at this roster, I almost kind of say, it's not that bad. It's actually a good roster. Like, Lamar Jackson is a good pickup. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a good pickup. Tyreek Hill was a yak monster last year in fantasy. He was cooking people in fantasy. My bench isn't the greatest thing in the world, more importantly, because I realize some of you are going to be like, why the fuck do you have three quarterbacks? And one of them, actually both of them are coming off of season-ending injuries. I realize that, but then again, if Kirk Cousins plays the way he did last year when he was healthy, he's easily a fantasy monster. And Deshaun Watson, I'm just banking on the hope of, can he get back to Houston Deshaun? Because if he can, that man could easily rush for like 80 yards and throw for like 300 yards, rush a touchdown, throw for 2 touchdowns. If I can get that Deshaun Watson, he's easily going back into my starting slot. Now, I will say with this roster, there was some players on here that I kind of had to like settle for. There was a couple players that I actually did not give because some players, like there was players, and I'll kind of get to it in a second, where there was a player I wanted. They were like four spots away, and it was like went to 3 spots, 2 spots, and I was like, yes, I'm going to get this player, and then boom, they got taken. I'm like, God, fuck you. But let's kind of go through the roster. As you can see, let's go through them round by round, and I'll kind of give you like my mindset as to why I took these players. Round 1, Tyreek Hill, obviously. There was a lot of great choices. I had Justin Jefferson on the board. I was thinking about it, but then I was like, he's coming off of an injury. I don't know who his quarterback is. If it's Sam Darnold, I'm not going to feel too comfortable taking Justin Jefferson. Tyreek Hill, he already has his star quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. He's going to be good there in Miami. He's going to get me plenty of fantasy points. I was actually set on taking Bijan Robinson because I thought this guy here was going to take Tyreek Hill, and then whenever he took Bijan Robinson, I was like, okay, I'll take Tyreek Hill, I guess. Round 2, I took Jahmyr Gibbs. I was thinking about Derrick Henry, but then, like I said, he got taken right ahead of me, and I was like, fuck you. There was a lot of great choices in here. Puka Nacua, I was debating on. Joe Mixon, maybe, because he's going to be down there in Houston. Michael Pittman was a good choice. There was even some players down here in like round 3 that I was thinking about taking in round 2, but I was like, Jahmyr Gibbs, he was a beast with them or Detroit last year. He's going to give me plenty of points. He's already going to be the main guy when they get down like the 2-yard line, 1-yard line. He's usually the guy they go to for running the touchdowns in. And also, he's like their main feature running back. So he's going to give me plenty of yards this year. Round 3 and round 4, we got Devon Achane. Like I said, Achane he was like the breakout star last year. He was getting everybody so many fantasy points. And I was like, if this man's on the board at least like round 2, 3, 4, I am taking it. And when it got to round 3, and I was like, oh my God, he's still there. I was like, yes, please. Travis Kelce, I thought about, but I was like, okay, Kelsey's now gone. Okay, Devon Achane's still on the board. Is there anybody else I could possibly take? I saw Laporta. I was really wanting to pull Laporta. I was going to actually wait till round 4 and take Laporta there. But when he got taken right here, I was like, fuck you all. It's whatever. I moved on to the round 4. We took Mike Evans. Mike Evans had a really good year last year. He has a good year with everybody he has. But now going into another year with Baker Mayfield, I'm thinking Mike Evans is going to have a really good year this year. Hopefully, he can give me a lot of fantasy points. Getting into round 5, I noticed the boards kind of looking at the players getting drafted. I saw Mahomes go off the board. I saw a couple of quarterbacks going off the board. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I was like, okay, I need to get my quarterback. Lamar Jackson was still there. He's already pretty much like centered himself as like a top 5 a fantasy quarterback, so I went ahead and got my Lamar Jackson, took care of business. It was between him and Cooper Kupp, and I was like, Cooper Kupp is nice. I would love to have him as like even as my flex, but I need a quarterback. Lamar Jackson, you come into my roster. We have round 6, and David Njoku, I was like, This is like the perfect pickup for me. A player from my favorite team. I already knew going into this fantasy draft I was going to get at least one player from the Browns. I needed at least one player from the Browns because I'm a Browns fan. But when it came to David Njoku, it was just self-explanatory. Like, there was no reason to not take him. He was a fantasy monster at the second half of last season. If he can play that way this season, this would be an underrated pick for me, if you ask me. We got round 7, Terry McLaurin. I already know he's going to have a beast of a season this year with Jaden Daniels. I like this pick. He's my flex receiver. He's going to be my flex player this year. He's always like the perfect flex person. If you don't have a spot available for your receivers, easily slide him into your flex. He'll be able to take care of business. And like I said with Kirk Cousins, I needed a second quarterback. You always need a second quarterback on your bench at least. And Kirk Cousins, when he's healthy, if he can come back from that Achilles injury, he can easily give me 20, 22, 23 points a game in fantasy. I will take that. We got round 9 and round 10. We got Christian Watson. I like Christian Watson, what he did in Green Bay. I think Jordan Love is going to have a great season with him this year. So I went ahead and just took an underrated pick. I looked at the receivers getting taken. I wanted Chris Godwin, but he got taken. And then after we got down here to like Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, I was looking at who's left. And I was like, Christian Watson is like a very underrated piece, and I'm going to take the chance. I was thinking about Xavier Worthy. I was thinking about it. But I was like, Christian Watson just makes more sense. So I went with him. And round 10, DeAndre Hopkins. With the Titans, I feel like he's going to have like a very mid-year, but he's still going to give me some good fantasy points, I think. Now, 2 things that did piss me off. I took DeAndre Hopkins, and I wasn't thinking that defenses were going to get drafted this high. I thought defenses weren't going to get drafted to like at least towards like round 13. When I saw the Browns defense go off at round 10, I was like, fuck you, what are you doing? This man, the GOAT, had a great draft. Like, he got the Browns defense and Justin Tucker back to back. Like, what the fuck? But he got the Browns defense, and I was pissed off about that. Then Justin Tucker went off the board. I was like, really? We're drafting kickers around 11? What the fuck are we doing? So the draft started going on. I was like, okay, Raheem Morris went off the board. I wanted him too. Then we kept on going down, and then I was like, fuck you. Nick Chubb, why are you getting drafted? Like, I honestly thought Nick Chubb, with the injury, he could have at least gotten to round 12, because that's where I was thinking about taking him. If he could have at least gotten to the round 11, I was like, I'm taking him here. I already had him set up as like my pre-pick. Like, I had him queued as like Nick Chubb for round 11. If he doesn't get picked, he's going to be my pick right here. And when Nick Chubb went away and it popped up like with the red arrow saying like, you can't pick him anymore, I was like, what? So that kind of hurt my feelings, but I was like, okay, who do I need? I need another receiver. Courtland Sutton, he was available. Went ahead and just took him. It was a great pick. Got a bench player. Round 12, I was like, okay, I need another running back. Jerome Ford is a good piece. Nick Chubb's going to be out for a few weeks. If we're going to be running the ball at all, Jerome Ford's going to be that guy. Hopefully he can go out there and give me some touchdown. He'll get at least a touchdown. I feel like whenever we get down near the 5-yard line, we're going to run the ball. Hopefully Jerome Ford's that guy that can pound in the end zone. Getting into round 13 and round 14, this is where we kind of got towards like the end of the draft, where it was like just the leftovers. Round 13, I got my defense. The defenses were coming off the board quite a bit. I took the Cowboys defense. It was pretty self-explanatory. They're a really good defense and special teams. And in round 14, I went ahead and got my kicker, Jake Elliott. I needed a kicker. When a kicker like that is available, you take who's available, and Jake Elliott was easily the guy that I needed. And then round 15, this is where like a lot of the leftovers, like I said, were there. Deshaun Watson, nobody wanted him. Like I said, if he can get back to a Deshaun Watson that we know of, this could be a great pick for me. And round 16, I didn't really know what to do. Everybody was just kind of taking their defenses and kickers. And I saw Xavier Legette sitting there, and I was like, well, if he could be the number 1 for Bryce Young, this could be a really good pick for me as well. But like I said, this is my team. Now, I did go ahead and make a few changes. Like I said, I went ahead and put Jerome Ford. I'm moving him into my spot against Devon Achane. Because Jerome Ford, like I said, he's going to be the running back for Cleveland with Nick Chubb being out. And when it comes to all these players here, everybody's going to stay in there. Nobody from the bench else is going to be moving up here. I like this roster. Like I said, 123 points. If these guys can do what they're projected, 123 points, I'll be happy. And if you're curious, like I said, the guy that I said like he had like a great draft, this right here is who I'm going against. The GOAT. This is my guy for week 1 that I'm going against. And look at his roster compared to mine. He's got Jaden Daniels. He's got Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Trey McBride, Travis Etienne Jr., Browns defense, and Justin Tucker. I might be fucked, but fingers crossed for me, please. But that right there is going to do it for my fantasy football roster for the 2024 season. Like I said, I'm no expert at this stuff. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I think I got a good roster. Let me know in the comments. If you're a fantasy expert, you're good at fantasy, you've been doing it for many years, what do you think about my roster? Did I do good, bad? What do you think? But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated. So if you want to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. Like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think that I did good on the fantasy draft? Do you think I did bad? Is the players that I selected in the draft or in the rounds, did I select them at the right spots, bad spots? Was there anything I made mistakes wise? Did I do anything really good? Whatever your opinion may be, leave a complete opinion down in the comment section down below. I'm more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Double Attack Sports. Have a great day. Peace.